Now, Tyler, in your earlier days of the gallery openings, you were actually doing performance art at them, and it kind of reminded me of the stuff that we used to do in Springfield back in 2002. With the crazy performance art right in the middle of the actual party. You shot someone with an actual gun and bullet at one of your parties.
I did.
And that kind of isn't that what led to your first national publicity?
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting. That was kind of like the perfect storm at that time. I had been doing a lot of stuff, and it was getting press, and the stuff was kind of out there. But right then, I had photographed Lohan with the blood and with the gun and everything, and then I had the gallery, and I had already planned to shoot the guy before. But then it was just the whole media world was watching, and they were all there. And so, whereas I would have done it if it was 10 people in the room, there just happened to be 1,000 people in the room, and 100 of them happened to be the main people from the biggest media outlets, and it freaked people out. They could not believe it. People still to this day will come up to me and be like, "I was there, and that was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life."
Yeah, and Tyler, what is it? Is it the violence that people are responding to out there, or?
Well, it's funny because, somebody asked me, they were like, "Why did you do the gun thing? Why would you shoot somebody when other people were around?" And I said to them, look, I've been shooting my whole life. I can shoot a quarter out of the air. It's not a matter of accuracy. I can literally shoot a flipping quarter out of the air. I'm not worried about that. But what it really is you take all these people and you give them a near-life experience. And they all had a very visceral experience, and everyone who was there will never forget that moment.
Now, Tyler, you grew up around a lot of guns here in Jacksonville, Florida, because we're kind of fond of guns, and that's a real cultural change from out there in the West, isn't it?
Yeah, people don't, really have guns here. We have one gun range that people kind of go to, and not really many people ever go. I mean, it's crazy how many people I've taken to shoot a gun for the first time. And, I always say, people are very scared of guns here. I don't, not as much there, but here they're very scared of guns. And I always tell them, it's not the gun you have to worry about, it's the bullets.
And when you say that you've taken people shooting, have you taken any of Young Hollywood shooting for the first time? And if so, who?
Of course. Brittany Snow I took shooting for the first time. Emma Roberts I took shooting for the first time. There's a bunch of people who I mean, oh, what do you want to do? I really want to go to the gun range. Okay, I'll take you to the gun range.
Are any of them good shots?
Yeah, absolutely. Emma, surprisingly, is an incredible shot. Which is funny, because she was shooting in high heels.
Please tell me that you were taking pictures yourself while that was happening.
I think I might have a cell phone picture or two of that. But you can never capture that kind of a moment in a place like that unless you're actually shooting it with a real camera, because just her standing there in her 5-inch heels shooting a target with a 9mm, just hilarious. But she was good. She's a good shot.